Hello, in this video I am going to look at stacking data. In the previous video I looked at unstacking it. So what I have here is one row for each participant and I've got several measurements for them. So they had 3 measurements taken every day called 1, 2 and 3, and this was done over 5 days, and then I've calculated a total for each measurement across the 5 days. So it's one of those data structures that's a little bit confusing. Now, usually this is how I would want to work with the data, where we have one row per participant, and I might have either I'm just working with the totals, or maybe I've got some kind of repeated measures analysis, something like that. However, there are occasions where it is convenient to be able to stack up all the measurement ones together. So let's say that this measurement one was made in minutes and I wanted to convert it to seconds or hours. It would be quicker if I had all the measurement ones in one column, do the conversion, than if I have to do it separately for lots of columns. So obviously this will depend on how big your data set is, but manipulating the data can be one reason that you want to stack it. Another can be to do graphs. So if I want to include several things on the one graph, you can't always force SPSS to do that for you. So in this case, there is a graph that I can do with the data separate. So if I wanted to do means of all the measurement ones on the 5 days, I can actually drag several variables onto the one chart and it will create groups out of them. So this is all the measurement ones. If I drag them on, you can see there's a little plus symbol that appears, and that means that SPSS is going to create a group out of each of the variables, so it can split it up over the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, and it will do that. However, if you try to do this with a box plot, it won't work. So I'm going to take a box plot. First of all, it's cleared it, but let's just try dragging it on again. You can see it's not giving me that option. So even though it can do it for some graphs, it can't create groups out of variables for other graphs. And so a similar thing will happen if you're trying to do, if you've got categorical data and you're trying to do some of these bar charts, you might need to stack your data in order to display things together. So let's have a go at doing that. We're going to go to Data, Restructure. We have lots of variables and we want to put them into cases. How many groups do we want to restructure? This is always a tricky one, and I usually get it wrong the first time around that I do it. So let's think it through. I want to have all my measurement ones together. So I want to take this group and put it under here. So measurement 1 will be one group. Measurement 2 will be another group, and measurement 3 will be another group. And I've also got these totals calculated, so I probably want... Do I want another column for all the totals? Measurement 1. Let's just, I'm trying to think if I would want them. I'll try putting them in and see if it makes sense. So the first variable is measurement 1. And I want all of them stacked together. The next one is measurement 2, and I want all of those stacked together. The next one is measurement 3, and I want all of those stacked together. I actually don't think I need the rest of them because I think there's nothing to stack the totals. I'll just leave them. So if I go back and say I just want 3, will it? It's saved what I've done. Okay. Fixed variables. Use the case number. A fixed variable is the participant. I'm not going to do anything with these totals and I'm going to see what happens. How many index variables? So the indexing is done by day in my data set. So I'm just going to leave that as 1. Do I want to use numbers? No, I would much rather have the names. Using the variable names is a much easier way to keep track of them, I think. So let's try that. Drop the variables that I haven't used. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to save this as a separate file name. We're up to restructure 3. So what we have now is all the measurement 1s in one column, all the measurement 2s in one column, and all the measurement 3s in one column. Now, actually, I think maybe it would have been easier if this had been just a number and then I could recode it, but this is my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it only did it once for the first measurement because that's what I told it to do. So if I could create a new variable from this. So I'm going to quickly recode that. I think once you've done it a few times, you remember what each of the options do, but it's often one of these commands that you only use every 6 months or once a year. And so if you're not doing it a lot, you forget all the options. I'm going to recode into a different variable. So index 1, let's call this day. Measurement 1 dot Monday. We'll give this a 1. So just skip forward a couple of seconds. If this is frustrating, otherwise you can watch me recode the data. I need to be a little bit more. Is it Thursday? I have to spell it correctly. I hope this works for add and then Friday. Add, continue. Okay, hopefully it's done that correctly. I think so. And then of course you've got to go and add your labels back in. So I'll just add a couple of them in and you'll get the idea when we do the graph. So it'll go Monday, Tuesday, 3, 4, 5, because that's how most people call their days of the week. Okay. So now if we want to do that same error bar chart, we can do exactly the same one, but it's measurement 1 split over the days. So now we're putting in one variable here and we're telling it what the groups are. So you can see that that is, if I can get them all on the same page. So this is the same graph and it was able to do this one from the unstacked data, but we weren't able to do a box plot, whereas now we can. So if I go down to box plot, now I can do all of the measurement 1s split over the days. Monday, Tuesday, 3, 4, 5, just how everyone calls the days of the week. And this will work if you're doing bar charts out of data as well. So if I wanted to do, I don't know if it's going to let me do bar charts with any of these because they're all scale. I guess I could try. No, I'm not. It'll probably go horribly wrong. But if you had categorical data, then you can stack it to do clustered bar charts in the same way. Hopefully that was helpful. If you're finding it a little bit confusing, that's okay. It is confusing. You just have to give it a go, see if it did what you wanted. If it didn't do what you wanted, then think about what you want the structure to look like and then try again. And if you have to do a little bit of cleaning up, that's okay. If you have to do a lot of cleaning up, then maybe just delete this, go back to the original version and try again. So if I had a lot of things here and I'm like, oh, I should have just kept them as numbers, I might actually just close this down, open up the original one and choose the other option. So don't be afraid to just use a little bit of trial and error to work that out. And I can see here that I just have a redundant variable here. I don't need this at all. So I can just clear that one.